8 Rarest Sleeper Cars of the 1990s. Lurking under the tame shells of certain 1990s vehicles hides ferocious power that obliterates expectations. These sleeper cars look mundane, but beneath their hoods they unleash relentless horsepower, capable of smoking modern supercars. From turbocharged family cruisers to stealthy coupes with V8 fury, these hidden gems prove you shouldn't let mild looks fool you. These cars are wolves in sheep's clothing. Whether you're a die-hard gearhead or just diving into the world of 1990s sleeper cars, this roster is loaded with jaw-dropping surprises. Number 8, 1990 Oldsmobile Achieva SCX. In the early 90s, Oldsmobile stealthily launched a sleeper that few ever noticed, the 1993 Achieva SCX. At first glance, it resembled a typical coupe, but beneath its humble shell was a true performance beast. With only 500 units crafted, the SCX is a scarce and often ignored jewel. Powering the SCX was a 2.3-liter quad-4 HO engine, delivering 185 horsepower and 160 pound-feet of torque. This wasn't your standard Achieva motor. It boasted a free-flow exhaust and a recalibrated ECU, enabling it to roar up to a 7,200 RPM redline. Paired with a finely tuned 5-speed manual transmission, the SCX could dash from 0 to 60 miles per hour in the high 7-second range and finish the quarter mile in 16 seconds flat. Solid figures for a front-wheel drive performance coupe of its era. Weighing roughly 2,700 pounds, the SCX was agile, sprightly, and built for spirited driving. Its performance-tuned suspension, equipped with beefier sway bars and electronically adjustable struts and shocks, delivered remarkable handling prowess. On twisting roads, it felt vibrant and precise, making it a true enthusiast's car. Visually, the SCX kept things subtle yet sporty. A bolder front fascia with fog lamps, lower body trim, and twin exhaust tips hinted at its performance potential. Inside, a 140 miles per hour speedometer and a 7,200 RPM tachometer underscored its high revving spirit. Number 7, 1992 Dodge Spirit RT. The next vehicle on our list, the 1992 Dodge Spirit RT, defines a sleeper. Plain externally, but a sheer titan beneath the hood. With only 191 units ever produced, this ultra-rare sedan had the might to challenge some of the era's biggest names. At first glance, the Spirit RT seemed like just another family sedan, but Dodge had grander visions. Under the hood rested a 2.2-liter turbocharged inline-4 producing 224 horsepower and 227 pound-feet of torque, figures that humbled many sports cars of the early 90s. Dodge didn't achieve this alone. Maserati, Lotus, and legendary racer Hans Hermann contributed to the engine's creation, making it a formidable piece of engineering. Performance. This beast was serious. The Spirit RT surged from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.4 seconds, completed the quarter mile in 15 seconds flat, and reached 140 miles per hour. That was enough to rival a BMW M5 of the same period. A stunning feat for a front-wheel drive sedan weighing 3,089 pounds. The Getrag 5-speed manual transmission heightened the thrill, ensuring all that turbo might was well utilized. Built on the Chrysler AA platform, the Spirit RT shared its roots with the Chrysler LeBaron and the Plymouth Acclaim. It featured a McPherson strut front suspension and a solid beam rear axle. Not exactly cutting edge, but tuned adeptly to manage the power. Number 6, 1990 Mercury Cougar XR7. On the surface, the 1990 Mercury Cougar XR7 appeared as a refined Grand Tourer, a vehicle designed for smooth cruising rather than spirited driving. But don't be misled by its elegant styling. Beneath the sleek bodywork, the XR7 concealed a supercharged force, making it one of the most surprising performance coupes of its time. What makes this Cougar truly unique is its rare 5-speed manual transmission. Only 841 units were ever crafted with this setup, making it a coveted find for collectors and enthusiasts alike. Paired with a 231 cubic inch with 3.8-liter supercharged V6, the XR7 produced 210 horsepower and an impressive 315 pound-feet of torque. For a car of its era, that was formidable power, especially considering its rear-wheel drive layout and fully independent suspension, gave it a dynamic feel on the road. Performance-wise, the stats spoke volumes. The Cougar XR7 raced from 0 to 60 in 7.7 seconds, covered the quarter mile in 15.8 seconds, and peaked at 139 miles per hour. To put that in context, it matched the quarter-mile time of a 1991 Aston Martin V8 Vantage, a car that cost far more. Not bad for a Mercury, but what truly distinguished the XR7 was how it balanced might and sophistication. Built on the advanced MN12 platform, it boasted a four-wheel independent suspension, typically reserved for premium European cars. The adaptive suspension system allowed drivers to toggle between a stiffer setting for sharper handling or a softer mode for a cushioned ride. This meant the XR7 could tackle spirited cornering while still delivering a smooth highway journey. Weighing in at 3,383 pounds, it wasn't exactly lightweight, but the supercharged engine and well-calibrated chassis made it feel far livelier than its size implied. The rare 5-speed manual option made it even more captivating for those who favored an immersive driving experience. Number 5, 1989 to 1990 Pontiac Grand Prix Turbo. At a glance, the 1989 to 1990 Pontiac Grand Prix Turbo seemed like just another late 80s coupe, sleek, restrained, and nothing too bold. But appearances can deceive. Hidden beneath its hood was a McLaren-engineered turbocharged beast that transformed this car into one of the most underappreciated performance machines of its era. At the core of this sleeper sat the 3.1-liter turbo V6, a rare and distinctive engine developed in partnership with McLaren Performance Technologies. That's right, the same McLaren renowned for dominating Formula One and crafting elite supercars. With their expertise, this boosted V6 generated 205 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque, notable figures for a front-wheel drive coupe in the late 80s. The power was channeled through a strengthened 4-speed automatic transmission, ensuring seamless yet vigorous acceleration. And the stats? They proved the Grand Prix Turbo was no lightweight. 0 to 60 miles per hour arrived in just 7.1 seconds, and the quarter mile passed in 15.3 seconds, matching a 1989 Ford Mustang GT. For a front-wheel drive coupe with a turbo V6, that was remarkably swift. But Pontiac didn't just prioritize. The Turbo Grand Prix was loaded with innovation. It featured a cutting-edge heads-up display, leather-wrapped bucket seats, and digital controls that gave the cabin a futuristic vibe. The exterior received subtle yet impactful upgrades, including factory ground effects, a chiseled body kit, and unique 16-inch aluminum wheels, making it look just bold enough without attracting too much notice. With only 3,367 units produced between 1989 and 1990, the Grand Prix Turbo remains a remarkably rare treasure. A McLaren-tuned turbocharged Pontiac that could match V8 muscle? Now that's a sleeper worth celebrating. Number 4, 1989 Ford Taurus SHO. When thinking of fast Fords from the late 80s, the Fox-body Mustang often steals the spotlight. However, another Ford emerged as an unexpected performance titan, the 1989 Ford Taurus SHO. This seemingly typical family sedan packed enough might to rival European sports sedans, earning its status as one of the greatest sleeper cars of its time. Under the hood, the Taurus SHO housed a 3.0-liter DOHC V6, a high-revving masterpiece crafted by Yamaha. Unlike the standard Taurus engines, this hand-assembled all-aluminum power plant produced 220 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque, impressive figures for a front-wheel drive sedan at the time. With a soaring 7,000 RPM redline and a precise 5-speed manual transmission, the SHO delivered a driving experience far beyond expectations for a midsize sedan. Performance numbers spoke volumes. The Taurus SHO could surge from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.6 seconds and complete the quarter mile in 15.2 seconds, rivaling the BMW 535i of the era. With a top speed of 143 miles per hour It ranked among the swiftest four doors of 1989, proving that performance wasn't confined to coupes and muscle cars. Despite its remarkable capabilities, the SHO maintained a discreet appearance. Aside from subtle badging, unique alloy wheels, and a slightly bolder stance, it looked nearly identical to the standard Taurus. This understated design made it a true sleeper, known only to enthusiasts who valued its hidden performance potential. Number 3, 1991 GMC Syclone. What if I told you that one of the most ferociously swift American machines of the early 90s wasn't a muscle car or a sleek sports coupe, but a pickup truck? Meet the 1991 GMC Syclone, a turbocharged all-wheel drive monster that could outshine some of the fastest cars of its time. At its core, the Syclone packed a turbocharged 4.3-liter LB4 V6, enhanced with a Mitsubishi TD0617 C turbocharger and an air-to-water intercooler. This setup unleashed 280 horsepower and a colossal 350 pound-feet of torque. Power was channeled through a 4-speed 4L60 automatic transmission to an advanced all-wheel drive system derived from the Chevy Astrovan with a 35 to 65 torque split favoring the rear. The result? Explosive acceleration. The Syclone could surge from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.3 seconds, faster than a Ferrari 348 or even a C4 Corvette ZR1. It could complete the quarter mile in a remarkable 13.4 seconds at 98 miles per hour, making it the swiftest production truck of its era. Despite its staggering speed, the Syclone maintained a subtle, almost unassuming appearance. It resembled a standard GMC Sonoma, but featured sportier body trim, a lowered suspension, and all-black paint, giving it a sinister, stealthy vibe. There were no bold graphics or oversized spoilers, just pure, unadulterated performance. Only 2,995 units were ever crafted, making the Syclone an exceptionally rare piece of 90s performance history. Number 2, 1994 Chevrolet Impala SS. The 1994 Chevrolet Impala SS was proof that muscle car spirit could thrive in a full-size American sedan. With a menacing look, a Corvette-derived V8, and a police-grade platform, this was no ordinary family car. It was a performance beast disguised as a daily driver. Built on the Caprice chassis, the Impala SS transformed the ordinary into the extraordinary. Under the hood sat a 5.7-liter LT1 V8, borrowed from the C4 Corvette, delivering 260 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque. While those figures may not seem earth-shaking today, in the mid-90s they made this full-size rear-wheel drive sedan a formidable performer. Power was channeled through a 4-speed automatic transmission, and thanks to a performance-tuned suspension, beefier sway bars, and a limited slip differential, the Impala SS handled far better than its size suggested. Despite weighing over 4,200 pounds, it could race from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 7 seconds and cover the quarter mile in 15.3 seconds, quick enough to surprise unsuspecting sports car drivers. This car was essentially a factory-built sleeper, offering muscle car performance with room for 5 adults and a massive trunk. Its appearance was just as striking as its performance. The blacked-out grille, monochrome paint, lowered stance, and 17-inch aluminum wheels gave it a commanding presence. The only exterior badging was a subtle Impala logo on the rear quarter panels, letting enthusiasts know this wasn't just another Caprice. Number 1, 1987 Buick GNX. Few cars have earned a reputation as fearsome as the 1987 Buick GNX, a machine so ferociously swift it became known as the Dark Knight's Ride. While the standard Grand National was already a street icon, Buick elevated it with the GNX, or Grand National Experimental, collaborating with McLaren Performance Technologies and ASC to craft one of the most potent sleeper cars ever built. At its core was a turbocharged 3.8-liter V6, but this was no ordinary engine. Thanks to a Garrett T3 turbo, a larger intercooler, and a recalibrated ECU, The GNX officially produced 276 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque. However, insiders believe those numbers were understated, with real output closer to 300-plus horsepower and over 400 pound-feet of torque. The result? The GNX could surge from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.7 seconds and conquer the quarter mile in 13.5 seconds, outpacing a Ferrari F40 in a straight line. For a factory-built American sedan in the late 80s, these figures were unprecedented. Buick had officially forged the monarch of turbocharged muscle cars. Despite its staggering performance, the GNX remained stealthy. It looked nearly identical to the standard Grand National, but subtle details distinguished it. Wider rear fender flares, special GNX badging, and a unique 16-inch mesh wheel design. To the untrained eye, it was just another Buick. But to those in the know, it was a titan in disguise. With only 547 units ever crafted, the GNX is one of the most prized American performance cars of all time. Even today, it remains a sacred relic among collectors and muscle car enthusiasts. That concludes our list of the top 8 sleeper cars, a collection of obscure machines that packed formidable performance in unassuming packages. From high-powered sedans to turbocharged trucks, these 1990s sleeper cars and beyond proved that speed doesn't always come with a flashy design. Which one shocked you the most? Do you know of any other sleeper cars that deserve a place on this list? Drop a comment below.